Welcome to Gladiator School. Man, what's up, everybody? You tuned in to Off the Yard. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's year is starting off to a decent start, man. Today, we start our new series, Prison Warfare, man. And first and foremost, I want to say much love to the Gladiator gang. Salute to the Blue Collar Kings and everybody. Stay up, stay out. And throughout this video, stay sucker free, man. So we're starting this 3-part series. Talking about the different levels of prison warfare. What it is, what it means to go to war in prison. The ins and outs, the politics, the loss, the cost, all the things that come along with it. To start things off, we're going to talk about the rules of engagement. And anybody that doesn't know what that means is, it's a military term. It's used to describe pretty much what are we using to fight with. Are we using knives? Are we using guns? Are we using tanks, grenades, and bazookas? Are we using fists? There's a movie called Gangs of New York, man. If you haven't seen it, I seriously suggest you go check it out. But the two-head big homies go up on each other and say, what's the rules, man? Knives and bats, no guns. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, there's a particular word in that sentence, in that statement, that means a lot when you're talking about prison and prisoners, felons. That word is rule. The rules of engagement. Now, how do you go about telling a bunch of guys who all they do is break rules that they can't do this or they can't do that or this and so I'm going to go ahead and start things off with the first rule of engagement in any prison warfare is there are no rules when it comes to prison warfare. A lot of times it's just every man for themselves. A lot of times you might think you're going up to a fist fight with one-on-one and get jumped by 6 cats with a bunch of shivs. Now, different things we make shivs out of, you could make shiv out of something this simple. Something like this, not only would I get 1, but I get 2, 3, maybe 4 good knives out of this. Bangers, bone crushers. This is a bone crusher. If I take something this long and I sharpen the end of it and I put something very, very, very sturdy on the thing, I will break every rib when I hit you on the way in. I will crack your sternum. I'll hit your collarbone with it. Whenever I go in at full range of motion, I'm going to break some shit. That's a bone crusher. Say you're walking the yard. You find something that the construction guys or the maintenance guy left over. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go, right? This right here, that's a death. That's a death. That's getting flown up out of here. You could find something as small as a block of wood. Anything you find, a piece of fence, a piece of plastic. I've made knives out of styrofoam cups. Take a bunch of styrofoam cups, melt them, roll them, melt them, roll them, form them, shape them, and then sharpen them. Take a blade and just pick and pick and pick until you got a... Now imagine you're going onto a yard full of angry, gangbanging, pissed off at the world convicts. And half of them want to kill you. They don't know you. They might just want to kill you because you're a white boy. They might just want to kill you because you're a black guy. They might just want to kill you just to kill you. That's prison. There are no rules when it comes to this prison warfare that so many of us have been privy to. Now, I will state this. A lot of times, because war is expensive, prison warfare is very expensive. If you and me are having an issue and we're gang members, now our issue becomes our gang's issue. Okay, now we got 50 soldiers ready to go at any word, at any minute, any time, any place. It's on site. But you lose a lot more 90% of the time than you gain. Because if we go to war, we lose all the money that's owed to each of our gangs on that yard. We lose good soldiers, men that we need. Prison is a numbers game, man. Whether we like it or not, it's a numbers game. People can always say, I've even said, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Bullshit. Not in prison. No, sir. And I don't care how tough and badass your 4 or 5 homies are. If you got 50 young gangbangers coming at you, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. When it comes to losing revenue, that's very important in prison because revenue is scarce sometimes. Especially if they've cracked down on the dope. We're not getting the dope in like we were. Or this guy got popped. The roller got popped. The visitation shut down. The ways that we are getting money aren't as prevalent as they were. So the big homies, we're going to go up to each other and say, hey, I get where you're coming from. I understand the beef. But do we have to go to war? Is there another way that we can? And that doesn't make you a bitch. It doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you even anything other than smart. If for anybody that walks around on one of these prison channels and tells you that they were not scared during these riots or these gang fights or a fist fight in prison, it's horse shit. Then they were never in a real situation. Because I've been in a lot of them, and I'm going to tell you, I was scared every time. That fear has kept me alive. That fear has kept me from being stabbed to death. That fear has kept me from making bad decisions a lot of times. Because when you're scared or you fear for your life or you fear for the outcome of something, you're going to think about all the possible ways that you can avoid that situation. Nobody wants to go to war. Most people do not want to go to war, especially gang leaders. Gang leaders do not want to take and go to war because this is what happens. I was a gang leader, and what happens is we go to war. Not only do you get hit with the assault charge, the gang charge, but you also, as a leader, could possibly get hit with a RICO, which is what happened to me. Almost. It was definitely up in the air for a while. To get a RICO case, you don't need much, especially in different states. States have their own RICO cases just as well as the feds, which a lot of people don't understand that. You can very easily catch a RICO case with 4 or 5 of your homeboys. Just look at YSL. Go look at what's happening with those guys. It's the same thing. So the rules of engagement are this. Hopefully, you're going up against an adversary whose leaders have a head on their shoulders. In a gang like an organization like mine, where most of the time we were not by any means the largest. This was not Maryland. This is not where DMI started from. So we were down here in Virginia. We might be only be walking around 20 guys. But that's 20 guys. And you're going to have at least 20 to get us out of there. Because we all going. The thing about being a small organization is that you're all got to go. There's no like ifs, ands, or buts. You can't go. You can't be in class. You can't be at chow. You cannot be anywhere other than next to your fucking people when this shit's about to pop off. Because if you are, and it pops off, you already know what time it is and we get with you. Now, there's been plenty of times where I've had guys come to me and say, look, we don't want to go to war either. You're going to lose more than you gain. So the rules of engagement pretty much in a prison setting is that if we go to war, there are no fucking rules. But maybe we can come up with some type of idealistic way to prevent death, lockdowns. Because not only do you lose if you get shut down and you get slammed back in a box for about 3-4 months, but the fucking facility will get locked down. If you have a whole mob of people, 40, 50 people, rumbling, fighting, stabbing, hurting, killing, all that at one time, trust and believe that facility will go on lock and will be unlocked until further fucking notice. No canteen, no visits, no phone. The whole facility gets shut down. So when two organizations are getting ready to go to war, trust and believe, other organizations are going to pop their head in. Maybe some of the bigger religious groups, the Muslims, the 5%ers, these Bloods and Crips, they're going to tip their hat and, hey, look, we understand y'all got some beef going on and we ain't trying to involve it, but we got a lot of money at stake right now. What can we all do? There's been times where the facility itself has brought a lot of us leaders in there and sat us down at tables and said, what are we going to do about this situation? We're not trying to go on lock. It's getting ready to be the holidays. There's a lot of shit going on. We ain't got time for y'all knuckleheads being there fighting each other. And what's crazy, and what I used to tell other organizations all the time is, why the fuck are we allowing them to let us fight amongst each other? We're not really even mad at each other. Half of this fighting in politics is bullshit. We're fighting for scraps while they sit up at their towers with their guns waiting to throw fucking beanbags at us 700 miles an hour. Get your weight up. Go get you some of that. This is not like out here on the playground, guys. This is not, I'm going to meet you after school by the swing set and we're going to knuckle up. Nah, man, this is, if we go out here on this yard today, you better have a banger. And if you can't get it past the metal detector, you better have something up your ass, because that's just the way it is, dog. I've had jackets, coats, or sweatshirts very similar to this one, where I would cut out the lining and I would flap it down and I would pack it with magazines around my vital areas. I've been stabbed. I've been jumped. I've been shot at from the towers. I've been gassed. I've been hit with the shield. I've been. I'm trying to start this year by explaining to you youngsters, man, who think it's a game, who think it's some type of badge of honor to go to prison, to be in the penitentiary with a bunch of other motherfuckers who thought the same thing. But deep down inside, once you walk through them doors, you realize it's all bullshit. And you ain't got to listen to me. You ain't got to do what I ask you to do. But hear my words. It ain't no place for nobody. It's not a place for anybody who wants to be something in their life. This is not a place for you to go in and do. You don't just go in there, do some push-ups, get blasted, and that's what it is, dog. I've earned this shit. I earned this shit right here. I didn't just get it, man. I wasn't at a work camp, cutting grass all day long and eating barbecue chicken, dog. I was on level 5 Supermax, getting it in. Because I, too, thought that the harder I went in prison, the more of a man it made me. And I was a fool. We're going to go through this series of prison warfare, man. And we're going to talk about how much of a fool I was and how much of a fool a lot of these guys were. Watch the prison stories. Be entertained by some of them. Don't be part of one. Don't be the next person that one of us is talking about. It ain't worth it, man. Until next time, man. I'm Big Lance. This is Off the Yard. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Gladiator Gang, man. Until the next time, stay up, stay out, and as always, stay sucker free, y'all.